I'll be quick for you guys. I know you guys don't know me, so you don't have a reason to listen to me. So let me give you guys a quick reason. I have $5, $10, and $20 to the athletes that are able to answer some of my questions. Okay? So just be paying attention. There's going to be a couple random questions throughout this little presentation. Okay? You could be the winner of some money. So be paying a little bit of attention. So Abby, thank you for the intro. I am a sport psychologist. So how many of you have ever heard of sports psychology? Okay, so a large majority of you. Sports psychology is the study of athletics in performance and how you can use the study of psychology. Psychology is the study of three things, okay? The study of your body, your mind, and your spirit, and how those affect you on three different levels. Those levels are your thoughts, okay? So the way you think, the way you talk to yourself, the way that you have words go through your head, whether they're negative or positive or neutral, okay? Two, your feelings. Your feelings manifest themselves physically. For example, how many of you have felt butterflies before a big game? Right? Okay. So those butterflies are a physical manifestation of the feeling of either anxiety or nervousness. Okay? So the greater that you can understand your body, the greater you're able to control that response. Okay? Maybe sometimes in a volleyball game, your legs feel a little weak, your chest is a little tight, you might feel nervous. I'm a little nervous standing in front of you guys right now, right? So what are some ways that you can control that? We're going to go over that, okay? And then the third level is your behavior, okay? Behavior is how we act, right? That's what we want to actually change in order to produce results and to get better. So I'm going to ask you guys this thing, and we're going to go over a quick little journey together of what's important, why it's important, and how we can apply it. And I promise you that this works. Just shout out, who are some of your favorite athletes of all time? Just anybody. LeBron James. Okay. Who else? I need like three or four. Joey Chestnut. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT, unarguably. Kobe Bryant. Okay, so a lot of basketball. About volleyball. You guys watch like volleyball players? Eric Shoji. Okay, I don't know him, but sounds great. Okay, Louis what? Louis Sakaloco, another volleyball player? Okay, sweet. So for me, my favorite athletes were like Kobe Bryant, Tom Brady, Michael Jordan. Obviously, you have Michael Jordan poster right here. Tiger Woods, and like Michael Phelps. Okay, these athletes, what they all have in common is greatness, right? But the other thing they have in common is every single one of them met with and worked with a sports psychologist to be able to get to that elite level. So that's why this is important. So I want you to know what we're going to be covering today is important, and it can help you be a better athlete. Okay? If I were to ask you to identify yourself, okay, I'm going to have everybody go through and just say one like really quick tip, but we'll go super fast. If I were to ask you, if you were to say 3 words that tell me who you are, I don't know you at all. 3 words that tell me who you are, what would you say? And we'll start right here, and we'll just rapid fire, go down the line, down the line, down the line.
Just like 3 random words?
Three words that you identify with, that are you.
Oh.
And be thinking about it when it gets to you, so you're ready.
Oh, I gotta go first.
Because you're the top right corner right here.
Now I gotta think here. I don't know. I think one would just be like passionate about things.
Passionate,
loving, and then just like.
and cute.
And then. I don't know, just hardworking.
Okay, everybody has a 5-second timer. Go.
Athlete, leadership,
Great.
I'd say athlete, smart, and kind.
Hope the ACT went good today.
I'd say competitive, hardworking, and compassionate.
Hey, great.
Funny,
athletic, and
Great. Back up top.
Smart, kind, and athletic.
Great.
Hardworking, passionate, kind. Caring, hardworking, hungry.
healthy, disciplined, and fun. Athletic, passionate, smart.
Highly competitive, determined, and probably active, competitive, and
Yeah, loyal, competitive, and hardworking.
He's popping his pecs as he's sitting there.
Athlete, smart, competitive, athletic, determined, and outgoing.
family, sports, and passionate.
Love it.
Competitive, passionate, hardworking. Smart, athlete, fun.
Determined, honest, athletic.
Loyal, funny, kind. Loving, competitive, and service. Dedicated, family, athlete. Hardworker, encouraging, and
Athletic. Family, athlete, smart.
caring, hardworking, and family. Hardworking, passionate, and encouraging.
Diligent, loyal, and kind.
Smart, loving, kind.
Smart, hardworking, kind.
Family, smart, focused.
Great.
Hardworking, smart, and funny. Athlete, kind, fun.
Coach? Abby?
So you guys also love the same things, and I actually agree with it. I also think that I am determined. I identify with everything about my family, so I love that. And third, I'll say focus.
Great. Okay, so thanks everybody for being quick with that. That was awesome. Why on earth would I take the time to have each of you say something? The reason being, the number one tool, and if you remember only one thing from today, it's this, okay? The number one tool that you have is your identity. Who you believe you are affects your thoughts and your feelings and your behaviors more than anything else. Okay? So who knows who said this? Give me a lever long enough and I can move the world. Who quoted that? No. Man, look, this is looking pretty safe right now.
I'll ChatGPT real quick.
I think it was Ryan.
All right, so that one was Archimedes. Okay. Archimedes, all right. Okay, so Archimedes is the one that did that. So the biggest lever that we have in all of sports is your self-identity. Did you guys just watch the Winter Olympics? Watch any of it? Okay, cool. Or any other competition at all, right? All of these athletes, they identify as an athlete. They're smart, they're competitive, a lot of very similar characteristics that you guys have. I'm going to teach you guys something a little different. There's two different ways of thinking. There is Western culture and Eastern culture. Okay, the two ways. In Western thought, so like America for us, we're very individualistic. Now that means that when you describe yourself, you said personal characteristics. You said, I'm smart, I'm competitive, I'm athletic, I'm diligent, I'm loyal. It's very me, right? You guys aren't a team. You're playing as individuals, but you're mostly playing as a team. You can't win without being a team. So in Eastern ideology, or what's called a collectivistic culture, if I were to go to China in order to ask them the exact same question, their answers would be very different. They would say, I am a brother, I am a teammate, I am a cousin, I am a son, I am a this. They would describe their relationships as who they are. So I want to encourage you, start to describe yourself as your relationships. I'm a teammate to so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. I'm a brother. I'm a son, right? Start to think of yourself this way. And I'm going to give you guys some homework, okay? And on this little flyer I gave you, are you guys familiar with school? School? You guys all have school? S-K-O-O-L? Right? Okay, cool. So I have a school community. It's completely free. It's on that website on the bottom left-hand corner. Inside of that, I'm going to give you some homework. Okay, I know you don't like homework, but this is going to make you guys better, okay? The homework is, I want you to take a piece of paper, okay, and I want you to write down at the top of the paper. Don't type this, okay? Physically write, pen to paper. Who am I at the top of this paper? And I'm going to send you this. If you join the community, I'll send you this homework, okay? You'll have access to all this. Who am I? And then I want you to divide it into 3 different sections, okay? The first section is going to be my story, okay? And then I want you to write out everything that you've experienced in your life that makes you who you are. Why are you the way you are? Fights you've had with your siblings, fun times you've had at Disneyland, volleyball, anything that describes why are you the way you are, okay? The second section is, who am I right now, today? And describe yourself in as much detail as you can, but I encourage you to think in both Western and Eastern thought. Think of yourself as an individual and as a collective teammate or brother, right? And then the third section, I want you to say, what do I want? So you can see here, we're just going basically past, present, future on who you are. Okay, I do this exercise at least once every 6 months, okay, to kind of like reset myself and really learn who I am and kind of where I want to be going, okay? And in that last section is kind of your vision. What do I want? Do you want to be a championship volleyball player? Is that something you actually want? Do you want to get a perfect score on the ACT? Do you want to maybe be a beach bum and not do anything with your life and just kind of live on the streets of California or whatever? Okay, what is it that you actually want? It can be whatever. Okay, I want you guys to get clear on that. And I'm going to ask you, do you guys know the story of the 4-minute mile? Who ran the 4-minute mile?
Louis Zamperini.
No.
Roger Bannister.
Roger Bannister. Pass that down now. Okay, so Roger Bannister. Can you tell me that story? Tell me what you know of that story.
I don't know much. I just know that he just wanted to put his mind to it, and then he did it, and then like 4 other people after him.
Right, immediately. He broke the wall, the barrier, right? So for those of you that kind of don't know the story, Roger Bannister, this is a very important name to remember. Decades ago, scientists used to believe that it was physically impossible for the human body to run 1 mile in under 4 minutes. And they thought that if you did so, you would just drop dead right then and there if you ran a 4-minute mile. So this man, Roger Bannister, was crazy enough to say, you know what, I think you're lying. I don't think that's true. I think that I can do it. Are we seeing where identity comes into here and beliefs? He said, I can do this. I am a runner. I'm an elite runner, and I'm a hard worker. I'm competitive. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do it. So he trained and he trained and he trained, and after years of just being at 4 minutes and 10 seconds, 4 minutes and 5 seconds, 4 minutes and 10 seconds again, he finally broke that barrier and ran the mile in under 4 minutes, okay, which is extremely difficult. You're sprinting like the whole time, okay? After he did this, you're right, 4 other people did it like right after him. He broke that barrier of doubt, and now suddenly everybody else was able to do it. So I want you to ask yourself, what is your 4-minute mile? Kind of think for a second. What's maybe a barrier that's been stopping you, that you're not performing at a level that you want? Maybe you're not being a student as good as you want, don't have good grades, or maybe you just want to perform at a higher level. Whatever it is, what's your 4-minute mile that you have to break your own self-doubt, break your barrier? Okay? And if you're thinking about that, I'm going to give you one tool that you guys can use to be able to break that barrier, and then we'll kind of wrap up here. Okay, we're doing okay on time? Okay. So this is going to be the last thing that I talk to you guys about, and this is going to be one of the most powerful tools that you use, okay? Now, first of all, remember, self-identity is your what? It's the biggest lever that we have to change ourselves, to change our behavior, to become a better athlete, become a better student, become a better person, okay? So this tool I'm going to give you is something that Michael Phelps. Do you guys know Michael Phelps? Raise your hands if you don't. If you do know Michael Phelps. Okay, you don't know Michael Phelps? Okay, Michael Phelps is one of the winningest of all time swimmers of all time in the Olympics. He has more golds than a lot of countries combined. So he's a super elite level athlete. And the one thing that separated him from everybody else, his coaches said, was his power of visualization. He had the ability to not be physically in a pool, but to be able to see himself doing a butterfly stroke or doing a freestyle, whatever. I don't know swimming that well. But to see himself swimming and using the right technique, and that's what made him be able to be elite. Okay? So this power of visualization is something that you guys can use as volleyball players to work on your technique, your strategy, your plays, your forms, your camaraderie with your teammates. There's a lot of things that we can use this for. So we're going to do a really, really quick, like 2-minute visualization practice just so you can kind of get it down. And before I do this, there's this thing called the vagus nerve. Okay, you don't need to remember that. But it connects your brain and your heart, and it's going to help us do better at visualization. You can put pressure on that, and everybody's going to do this with me. You're going to take in 3 really deep breaths. Okay, go ahead with me through the nose, really, really deep. And as you get all the way full, suck in just a little bit more air. Push that pressure into the top of your head, and exhale slow. Okay, 2 more times. Suck in a little bit more. Don't pass out though. Go ahead and exhale slow. What we're putting pressure on that nerve, okay? Ready? 1 more time. Suck in a little bit more. And exhale and relax. As you exhale, just relax, sink deeper into relaxation, okay? What this is doing, putting that pressure on the nerve, this gets your mind and your body prepared for a visualization. We're using a biological response to be able to do that, okay? So now each of you go ahead and close your eyes. Okay? I want you to imagine yourselves the day of your next match, whenever that is, and you're doing your warm-ups. You're going through the motions, you're doing your warm-ups. Things are feeling good, your body is feeling loose. You're really confident, you feel composed, you don't feel nervous. Okay, now I want you to envision yourself, the game's about to start, and you're about to step onto the court. You step out onto the court, things start going really, really well. You and your teammates are dominating. Whatever position you are, you're executing. The ball's coming your way. You're doing everything the right way. You're setting, you're passing, you're hitting flawlessly. The cool thing with this visualization is you can go over this super fast or super slow. Maybe see yourself mechanically, super slowly, jumping up in the air, hitting the ball. See all of the little mechanics that have to happen in your body in order to jump, move your arm, go really slowly. But you can also move really quickly. You can go through 10 points in a matter of a second. Think of just the success that you're having as you're going through. Everything's going well. Okay, but now I want you to think of things not going well. You start losing. Things aren't going your way. You start dropping some passes. You're not in sync with your teammates. How are you going to overcome that adversity? What are you going to do? How are you going to communicate with your team? how are you going to reset yourself? And I want you to say to yourself, I got this, I got this, I got this. I'm having fun. Now suddenly things start to flip back and you're starting to do good again, things are going well, and you end up winning. You win, you shake hands with the other team, you go and celebrate with your teammates, you feel good, you feel pumped, you feel amped. Okay, everybody kind of come back, you can open your eyes. This was a very quick, very brief visualization. Now, can maybe 2 or 3 people tell me kind of how you feel, what was going through your head, how you feel before versus after? Just any thoughts that you might have.
I feel confident. I just visualize myself doing really well, so I feel more a little confidence.
Yeah. Confidence is key if you want to compete at a high level, right?
Ethan, how do you feel?
Me? I feel more relaxed and definitely more confident.
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
It was like harder to like visualize doing bad after I like visualize doing good first.
Yeah. I usually share this before we do a visualization, but I'll share it now. There was a study done between 3 groups of basketball players, okay? And the first group, they said, I want you to physically shoot free throws for 30 minutes a day every day. And the second group, they said, I don't want you to touch a basketball or think about basketball. And then the third group, they said, I don't want you to touch a basketball, but I want you to visualize yourself shooting free throws for 30 minutes a day for 30 days. In 30 days, after these 3 groups, which group do you think did the best? Which one improved the most? The group that visualized, right? So this group that visualized, they never touched a basketball. But they actually improved more than the group that physically shot. Okay, so the reason that is exactly what I don't remember who said it over here, but you couldn't do bad after you started doing good, right? Because they would make every single free throw. So you guys can use this. You can go through games super quickly. We just did a whole game in 3 minutes. And to boost your confidence, you just went through an entire game. Okay, if you can do that every single day and just rep it over and over and over and over again, your confidence, your calmness, your relaxed state to be able to compete at a high level is going to get better and better. Okay. But yeah, that's kind of what I have right now. But does anybody have any really quick questions for me before we wrap up? Yeah.
To see the most improvement, how often do you think you should do it every week?
Yeah. If you have the ability to do so, 5 minutes a day is going to be best. Like super simple, super easy. It doesn't have to be anything. Most athletes that I've worked with do it just right before going to bed, right? Because then maybe you dream about it. It's in your subconscious mind a little bit. So as you're going to sleep, do a quick visualization. One, it's going to help you sleep better, and it'll do a visualization practice. Yeah.
Like pre-game, would you do like the breathing thing first, or would you visualize, or like both? I guess.
Yeah, so that's a really good question. It kind of depends on you, right? There are some athletes that you're going to have to play around with this. Some athletes play better when they're super hyped up, right? And you're going to listen to rock and roll music or rap and like you just like feel pumped and amped and like you just need to visualize yourself going crazy. But some athletes do a lot better when they're calm. And so, putting on noise canceling headphones, blindfolds, and like having no stimulus and then just breathing and relaxing might work. So play around with it yourself and kind of test it, but don't test it like on game days. Test it before practice, so that way you can kind of get it down before an important match, right? Yeah, does that make sense? Okay, cool. Thank you, everybody. Now, like I said, you have that school community on there to be able to have access. I have a bunch of different stuff and more visualizations and different practices all on that school community. You have access to that, and you can reach out. Yeah.
When you say school community, like what is that?
Yeah, it's kind of like a social media course
Oh,
community platform
yeah.
that yeah, there's just like trainings, but you also have like a portion that you can ask questions, kind of like a Facebook.
Oh,
There's just a bunch of high school athletes that are in the community
uh-huh.
that you can like share your wins, ask your questions, everything like that.
Is it just the state of Utah or the whole country?
Yeah, it's all United States. So there's athletes from Texas, Colorado, Florida, here in Utah.
You have your own section of your own things, correct?
Yeah, the community is like, yeah, it's 100% just the sports psychology community. Yeah, and there's a section on just volleyball as well.
Anybody
Cool.
have any questions? I really hope you guys put into use some of the skills that he gave you today.
Yeah, especially the guys that are injured right now, the huge visualization. Especially because a lot of you guys are asking, what can I do? I'm hurt. I guess I just tell you to go to PT, but there's a lot more you can do now.
Mental side is huge. So, okay, I appreciate you all. Appreciate your time. Look forward to talking to you guys more later.